So good afternoon, all of you, and greetings for the day. So today, I, Dr. Amarpreet Singh, I'm in front of you to deliver the introductory lecture on a subject that is the artificial intelligence. So today, the content delivery for the lecture for the today, what we will cover in today's lecture, this is first of all, I will start with the introduction portion. That is introduction to the term artificial intelligence. So in this, what we will be doing, we will be looking into the definitions and important terms. So definitions of intelligence, definition of artificial intelligence, and some important terms like agents and so on. So this is the first thing that is the content of today. We will also go for goals of AI, means what are the basic objectives of the artificial intelligence concept? What is the basic objective of studying this chapter or this subject? Then we will see the categories. What are the different categories of the AI machine that can be built on? Then we will look on to the components, that is the components of AI. So we'll start with the introduction, then we will move to the goals, categories, components. Then very important thing is we will also do some test which is known as very important test, that is the Turing test. Very important test, that is the Turing test. What is the purpose of this test? Why we use this test? That will be covered in today's lecture itself. Then applications. What are the fields? What are the areas where AI is being used? And what are the sub areas also? The major areas and the sub areas in which the AI is being used these days. So these are the things that we will be covering in the today's lecture. So for this, I will start sharing my presentation. I have made the presentation about this topic. So I will start sharing the presentation, and during this presentation, I will cover all these topics. Okay. So this is the first slide where I am introducing to the what is the content. The first is the introduction to the artificial intelligence, and this is being delivered by me, Dr. Amarpreet Singh. So yes, next slide. Just click on a system and yes. So what is the objective of this presentation? The whole lecture is divided into the three portions. So objective of this first portion is that this presentation, what you will be able to do after going through this presentation. What is the outcome? So here it is the you will get the knowledge, the basic knowledge about the basic definition and ingredients of intelligence, basic, formal, and various definitions of the artificial intelligence which are given by the different authors. What are the characteristics of the AI system and the foundation of the AI? This is the main thing that we will carry on today after going through the presentation. Yes. Next. Intelligence is the property. So before going to the artificial intelligence, it is of two terms. One is artificial and second is the intelligence. So what is intelligence basically? What is the definition of the intelligence? Intelligence is the property that, and it is a property of our mind, our brain, that encompasses many abilities such as capabilities to reason out, plan, solve problems, think abstractly, comprehend ideas and language, and learn. to see what are the characteristics of our brain, what are the abilities of our mind. So our mind can do all these things. If something is happening, it can reason out why it is happening. And if we want to do something, our brain plans, our mind plans how it can be done. What are the different techniques? It is able to solve many problems, even simple as well as the complex problems. It can think abstractly, and after thinking and getting information, so it can comprehend the ideas, the new ideas, and it can comprehend the language which is to be used. And very important property of our brain is learning. So whatever our brain we do at present day, we it keeps on learning new things also. It keeps the present thing in mind and try to learn the new things. So these are the important abilities of our brain. So intelligence. So means if what is intelligence? The term which I use in a blackboard also, a whiteboard also, the intelligence. So I am going first of all, what is intelligence? Then we will move to the term artificial intelligence. So these are the abilities our brain, our mind, which encompasses. Next. So what is the ingredients of intelligence? The ingredients of intelligence are ability to interact with the real world, the world around us, the environment around us. Our brain has the ability to interact with the real world, and whatever it looks around, it perceives through the different senses our body has. So it perceives through the different senses that what is there, understands, then act accordingly. So this is, you can say, ingredients of the intelligence. It also understands the language and the formation, how the words are formed, how the what are the different words, different characters of the different language. So it can also recognize and understand the language. And very important thing is visual perception. It is very commonly said, what you see is what you get. So what you see is what you get means what you visualize, that you perceive through visualization, and then accordingly you understand and act accordingly. Next. Next, other ingredients are reasoning and planning out. If something is happening around us, we reason out why it is happening, what is the reason that thing is going on, and even we can plan also. If we want to do something, new job is in our hand, new task is in our hand, then sometimes we know that how it has to be done. If the task is very simple task and we have performed that task earlier, then it is very easy. But otherwise, mostly for the new task, we have to plan out properly that what has to be done. We can schedule the different processes of that particular the main thing or the program, that the task we are having in our hand. So we can model out. We have to, whatever the thing is our hand, we first of all model out that thing in a external world. Then we, problem solving is there. We solve the problem, we plan, and we make the decision. Decision making is very important component. Then ability to deal with the unexpected problems, dealing with uncertainty. Very, very important thing. Because in our daily life, we come across many things which is being happening first time. We are not known to that particular situation. So those things are uncertain. But our mind has the capability to deal with the uncertainty also. And whatever I'm saying, I'm talking about the reasoning, I am talking about the planning, I am talking about the dealing with the uncertainty. These all are actually the chapters that we are going to cover in this subject, that is the artificial intelligence. Then is the learning and adaptation. Very important thing. It is the main, very important characteristics of our brain. What it does one time, it learns, it remembers, and on the basis of that, it learns the new thing also. And it can adapt to the different situation. And for the adaptation, what is needed? Continuous update of our model of the world and adapt to that particular model. So this is important thing, that is the characteristics and the ingredient of intelligence. Now come to the important, the subject, artificial intelligence. So very simply, artificial intelligence is a simple thing. It is a process or the concept where we try to make a computer or a machine that can do all the things which at present people or the human does better. So this is the important thing of the artificial intelligence. Main objective. Main objective is to build a machine, or you can say a computer or a machine which can do all the things which at present human being is doing better. So what does it mean? We means that we want to make our machine or computer as intelligent as human. We want to inculcate the ingredients of intelligence that the human brain acquires as. We want that we should inculcate that ingredients of intelligence into the machine. So that is the artificial intelligence is all about in a simple terms. In a simple terms, in a simple understanding, and it can, you can tell this to the layman also, that what is this artificial intelligence. He may, any layman may ask you that there is a buzz of this word artificial intelligence nowadays in the market. So what does it mean? So you simply say making a artificial human, making a machine which acts as a human. We can replace a human. Replacing the human means it can do all the things that human does better. Okay. Now look onto the different definitions of the artificial intelligence. Formal definition of AI. So it is a branch of computer science which is concerned with the study and creation of a computer system that exhibit what? That exhibit some form of intelligence or those characteristics which we associate with the intelligence in the human behavior. So this is the formal definition of the AI. But the meaning is same what we did in the previous slide. So the main concept is we have to make the machine which exhibits the intelligence of the human behavior. Other definitions of the AI, I will stop here just for a 1 minute. You can go through all the different definitions given by the different authors. So I will not speak now. I will stop here for a few seconds so that you may read out all the definitions. Yes, just read out all the definitions from the different authors. So different authors, Richard Knight is there, Dean Allen is there, then Russell and Norvig is there. So these are the authors which gave different definitions of the artificial intelligence time to time. So it can be the study of how to make computer do the things which at the moment people do better. So that it was given in the first slide. That definition is given by the Richard Knight. The design and study of the computer programs that behave intelligently, the study of agents. So we will do what is rational agent that exist in environment and perceive and act. So these are the definitions given time to time by the different authors. Next, characteristics of AI system. So what are the characteristics of the intelligence? Same are the characteristics of the AI system also, because we want to mimic the machine same as the human. So the characteristics of the AI system are learn new concepts and tasks, reason, it means reasoning, reason out and draw the useful conclusion about the world or the environment around us, remember the complicated interrelated facts and draw the conclusion from them. It is known as inferencing. We have one chapter on the inferencing also. Means what is happening around us and some things are factual. From those given facts, You draw the conclusion that if such is the premises A says this, premises B says this, according to the factual information, so this will be the output or this will be the conclusion. Next characteristic is understand a language and natural language that we use day to day, or perceive and comprehend the visual scene. What we see, we have to comprehend. First, we have to perceive it and then we have to comprehend. Same task has to be done by the machine, and perceiving in machine is done through the senses. Look through cameras and see what's their vision to move themselves and objects around the real world. As our eyes notice what is happening around that. So same is the same perceiving power, sensing power is to be inculcated in a artificial machine also. It should plan sequences of actions to complete a specified goal. A goal can be any task in hand, any problem in hand. It should offer the advice based on rules and the situations. Means what can be done. Situation is very important. We have to understand the situation, because according to that particular situation, some rules are defined. In this particular situation, this can be done and this cannot be done. So there many rules are defined to solve the problem if we want to take some action, but rules are only implemented on for a particular situation. If the situation changes, the different rule may apply. Capable of performing intelligent tasks effectively as well as efficiently, and perform tasks that require high level of intelligence. So our AI system should have such a characteristic so that it can perform any task of any high level complexity which requires the high level of intelligence. What are the foundations of AI? Means what are the different concepts, different theories, different studies or different subjects which play important role to act as a foundation of the artificial intelligence. AI is the short form of the artificial intelligence. So mathematics has played important role in this direction. Neuroscience means science of nervous system. Control theory and the linguistics. Linguistics means languages. Languages play the important role, because why the languages play the important role, as whatever we perceive and whatever we want to say, so communicate whatever we want to communicate either through text or through visuals or through videos, we have to speak something, we have to write something, and it is only through the language, and most important the natural language. So natural languages are very much important. Therefore linguistic is the foundation of AI. Next. Now next we are coming to the categories, goals, contents and techniques in a artificial intelligence. What are the AI goals? What are the categories of AI? What are the different contents and the techniques which are play important role in a AI and the AI system? So after going through this concept, you will be able to know about what are the goals and use of AI. Next, what are the categories of the AI? What are the contents in AI? What are the different techniques which play important role in the AI peripheral? How can we test whether this AI system is actually the AI system, yes or not? And the very important term, what are agents? So this will be covered in this part. AI, so two views of AI. So if we say what are the goals, it can have the two views. One is AI is about duplicating what the human brain does. So whatever our brain is doing, we want that AI machine should do the same thing. means mimicking, means duplicating, duplicating the activities of the human brain. This goal is basically comes under the cognitive science, that what human is doing, AI machine should do that only. It is another thing that what a human is doing right or wrong. It is another matter. Next is AI is about duplicating what the human brain should do. So that thing, so see the difference, what the brain is doing, what the human is doing, and what the human should do. That is rationality. That comes. So what logically, what human should do, that comes the rationality. Suppose I just give you the example. Now it is a time. Your time is from 2:45 to 4:15. This is your time for the lecture, online lecture. So what happens? Actually, all the students of your class at this moment, they should rationally, they should attend this lecture. They should attend this lecture. But at moment, some may not be attending the lecture, just moving here and there. Some may be going to some function. Some may be sitting in some shop or doing some another activity. So what, according to suppose you are the human we are talking about and interrelating the AI machine to your you as the human. So actually at this moment, all the human of your categories, they should attend this lecture. Actually, they should attend rationally, logically, because it is their time. But some are not doing that thing. Some are doing another thing. So is what the human does and what it should do, both the capabilities we should put into the AI machine. So sometimes there are the situation where we should not go each and everything very rationally. Suppose there is you can say lecture time, but sometimes there was a function, you all got tired, very tired. But after that function, there is your lecture time. And now uh, your teacher is saying you have to attend the lecture. And in lecture, you all are tired, you are all are feeling sleepy. But actually, as there is a time, there is a timetable, you should do the lecture, you should attend the lecture. So you are attending, but you are not getting something out of that. So in that mode situation, what happens? We as a human, we say today your lecture is off. You all go, you have done very good job. The function was very good, and your principal or teacher announces the holiday for today, for the rest of the day. So actually, rationally, logically, there should be the lecture. But actually, sometimes it does not. Cognitive science says you should have a rest at this moment. So this is what the human does and what it should do. Same qualities should be there in a machine also. Next. So accordingly, what type of different types of you can say AI systems can be there? One is that think like human, and second is that think rationally. Next category is one machine that should act like human, and next is one that machine that should act rational. So these are the four categories of the AI design methodology. We use four categories of design methodology so that we can design the four different categories of the AI machine. Now the categories of the AI system same from the previous slide. First category is systems that think like human. Second category is systems that act like human. Third one is system that think rationally. And fourth is that should act rationally. Rationally means logically. What should be done? It should do that. What should be thought? It should think that. But what actually is being done, that is the actual. So system that think like humans is actually what they are doing. Rationally what was supposed to do, but actually what they are doing. Yes. Next, coming to the contents in AI system. So game playing agents, machine learning, speech, language, vision, data mining, web agent system that think like humans. So these are actually the contents in the AI system. What you can say, you can also say what are the different areas which are connected to the AI system or play the important role in developing the AI system. What are the different types of AI techniques? What are the different techniques which are used on making the AI system? What is the technology? What are the concepts which are being used in making the AI system? First of all, rule bases. All the rule bases were very important because if we have the rule bases, then the decision making is done. If this is the situation, this has to be done. If X is there, then Y will be there. So this is known as the rule. And the group of list of all the rules is known as rule base. So AI system or the technology or the technique must have certain rule base. So therefore AI techniques are the rule base. Then comes the new concept of fuzzy logic. Fuzzy logic will come into action when there is the concept of uncertainty. So fuzzy logic is the one tool or the one technique through which we can deal with the uncertainty. So there is very uncertainty. The life is very uncertain. Different things in our life where uncertainty means different type of things when there is some vague ambiguity. Something is not clear. If there's suppose there are some words like fuzzy, those words are known as fuzzy. If I say he is tall, so this tall word is a fuzzy word. So how much tall? I don't know. Only I said he is tall. So if we compare the two persons or we compare the three persons, so in first state, X is known as tall, but when we compare to the another person, that X does not remain the tall. So it is a fuzzy situation. If I say he is intelligent, how much intelligent? So we cannot exact give the exact measure of something where there is ambiguity is always there, vagueness is there, which is not clear. That terms are known as fuzzy terms. And to deal with those terms in a real world, the fuzzy logic is being used. So we will be doing one chapter that is the fuzzy set and fuzzy systems. Next technology is the neural networks or more true to be artificial neural network. Means it is a study of the neural network is basically the study of the biological nervous system the human being is having. So we have to do the study of the our brain, our nervous system. Then only we can see how to represent, how to model out that human nervous system into the computers, into the machines. How we can make the model of our brain and implement or the architecture of the brain, how it can be artificially implemented into the machine. So therefore, we have to study the neural networks and the neural networks when we develop that neural network artificially for the machine, that is known as ANN, artificial neural network. Then is the very important concept or the technology, or you can say the subject or the area which plays important role in the AI is the genetic algorithms. The algorithms which are based, whose base is, which depends upon a theory of evolution given by the Charles Darwin. So Charles Darwin gave the theory, so evolution concept, theory of evolution. So genetic algorithm is based on that particular theory, and the main application of the genetic algorithm are in those areas which need high level of optimization, which needs very high. So these the genetic algorithm actually are the algorithms which are used for the optimization. Genetic algorithms are the optimization techniques. So these are the AI techniques which play important role, very important role in the building of the AI environment. So very important test about the, so we have seen how to develop the AI machine. Suppose if some person says that after going through the study of the different concept of the AI, he has made one machine and he claims that this machine is the AI machine. This machine is the AI machine. So how to test, how to verify the claim is right or wrong? Whatever that person is claiming, is it right or wrong? He is claiming that he has made the machine and we can replace the human. He says that this machine is the AI machine. So this is the claim. Now how to test whether this machine is actually the AI machine or not? So this test was given by the A. Turing in 1950s. So can machine think? Can machines behave intelligently? So this is the question. If somebody is claiming, and but the same that I have made the machine, then the question arises in your mind: can this machine think? Can this machine behave intelligently? So to give the answer, you are in a decision making process. You will finally say yes or no. Yes, this machine thinks, or this machine can act or not. So you have to perform some test. That test is known as Turing test, which confirms that this artificial machine is acting like a human or not. So what happens in this? What is the scenario there? Here is the three components. One is interrogate, which asks the question to the two people who are out of sight from him and only hearing. And these two entities are, one is human and another is machine. So there are three entities: a human, a machine, and the interrogator. So three entities are there. And human and a machine are out of sight of interrogator. Interrogator will ask the question and hear the answers from other side. Other side, one is machine, right? The machine which is claiming that that machine is AI machine, and another entity is human. 30 minutes to ask whatever the question the interrogator may ask, to determine only to the questions and answer which is which. After getting the answer, that interrogator will pinpoint and determine that whether these answers are coming from machine or the human which is out of sight. If it cannot distinguish, if interrogator cannot distinguish that he is receiving the answer, he cannot say, he is not sure that this answer is coming from human or the machine from the other side, then your machine is passed. If interrogator distinguishes that yes, I put a question, the answer is received, and he says yes, this answer is from the human other side, or he says this answer is coming from the machine other side, then your test fails. Means he can very easily say that answer is coming from machine, means that machine is not acting like a human, that machine is not acting like a human, therefore interrogator says that the answer is coming from the machine. Clear? If for the every answer, either it is given by the human or either it is given by the machine, interrogator says, yes, this answer is coming from human. This answer is coming from human. All the answers have come from human, but actually some answers was given by the human and some answers were given by the machine. If such situation happens, the interrogator says all the answer came from the human, then your machine passes the Turing test. It's actually your machine is acting as a human. Therefore, interrogator could not distinguish between the answer of a human or the answer of a machine. So I hope you have understood this Turing test. Very, very important test this is. It is a test of the artificial machine, and we have to test whether it is acting like a human or not. Next. So this is the diagram for the whole environment of the Turing test. So in one side there is a human interrogator, on the another side there is a human and the AI system that has been or machine, and both are out of sight, and this was given in 1950s by the A. Turing. Next is very important term, that is agent. What is agent? An agent is an entity that perceives and acts. So it is an entity which perceives the all the things, the different things that are going around us. So anything, any entity that perceives what is going around us, that is known as agent. Yes, human. We human are also the agent because we perceive the things around us. We can see what is going around us and we perceive through our senses. There are different senses, human senses. Through senses, we perceive all the things. So abstractly, an agent is basically a function from percept histories to the action. So after perceiving that this is being happening, this is going on. Suppose you have got the smell that something is burning around you. So it is not if you have perceived that smell of burning. Obviously, you will not sit. You will take some action. That where from it is coming. Is there some short circuit or is there something burning actually? So you will immediately jump out and go through your here and there and confirm it. So you, and if actually it is burning, actually it is such case, then you will take certain actions. So that is the thing of the agent. Agent perceives and take action. So therefore, agent can be represented as a function that perceives, and after perceiving, it acts accordingly. So just see, agent is given as the function. It is denoted by F, which perceives. P means that perceives, and whatever it perceives, accordingly it takes action. So there A is known as action. So this agent is nothing but it is just like a function that perceives and acts. For any given class of environment and task, we seek the agent or the class of agent with the best performance, with the best performance. So this is very important term. So after agent, come to the next part of today's presentation. Here I will cover what are the components and the applications of AI. AI components and its applications. Yes. So what is the objective of this part is you should know about components of AI program, sub areas of AI, application of AI in various fields, and fundamental issues in AI problems. Components of AI program. So AI technique must be independent of the problem domain as far as it is possible. So AI program should have knowledge base. First of all, it should have knowledge base. Second is the navigational capability. Third, inferencing. And the final thing is user interface. So again, I repeat, AI program should have knowledge base, navigational capability, inferencing power, and the user interface. And what are their roles? Let us look on. Knowledge base. So as you know, AI program should have a learning capability. So this we have seen in our talk today itself. So from where it will learn, where it will make some decision. What is the content from where it will seek some information and make the decision. So that is the knowledge base. So simply, knowledge base is what which consists of facts and rules. So it is the database of facts and rules. So knowledge base can be defined as the database that consists of facts and rules. What are the characteristics of the knowledge base? First of all, we say in our just you say you are the system. Human is a system. So how much facts, how much information that you cover in your mind, in your memory, it is the knowledge base of this human system. So therefore, knowledge base, it is voluminous in nature. Capacity is very high amount of data is there in a knowledge base. So it is voluminous in nature and it also requires the proper structuring. It may be incomplete because every time some new incident takes place, it adds into your knowledge base. And it is always imprecise. We have to do some processing to make it a precise. It is dynamic in nature. It keeps on changing. Therefore, it may be incomplete. Navigational capability. Navigational capability contains various control strategies. So what is control strategy? Means determines the rule to be applied. Some heuristic or the thumb rule may be applied. I give you this example from the simple programming. You all have done the simple programming like C and C++. So there is also the navigational capability. Means you make a C program or the C++ program. So normally your program, the flow of the program, the navigation of the implementation of the different statements of the program is sequential. First statement will be implemented, executed first, then second, then third, and fourth. This is the simplest way. But there is some control strategies. What is control strategy? What is the control strategy in simple programming? There we have the control statements like decision making or the conditional statements like if else, if else if. So when you implement this conditional statement, flow of execution of the statement changes. In if else, two statements are written. One under the if condition is true and another statement is under if the condition is false. So at one particular moment, only one statement will execute. Another will not execute. So now the flow is not sequential. Second case, iterative statements. Loops are there. When loops are there, you can according implement the rule and you can execute the one statement again and again before moving to the next step. Same is the with the help of break and continue statement. You can jump out of certain block of statement. So where the flow, the navigation of the execution changes. Similarly, your AI program should have certain, you can say these statements where the navigation can be controlled. So the navigation can be controlled. Next, inferencing. Inferencing means there is some information present and from those information, set of information, what finally you conclude, that is known as inferencing. What you take out from this given information, what you take out, what decision you make finally, that is known as inferencing. So inferencing, what it requires for decision making, it requires search through the knowledge base. All the facts and all the rules are present in a knowledge base. A person will search through that or system will search through that and make a proper final statement. That is known as the inferencing. So it is derive new knowledge from the given knowledge. That is known as inferencing. What is one thing was user interface. So user interface is also very important. User interface, that was the next you can say component of the AI program, because whatever the artificial machine is, it has to deal with the environment around it, and around the machine the environment also requires the humans are there, different users are there. So interfacing between the different types of users of the AI system, that is required. Therefore, there is a component of the user interface. Now, the sub areas of AI. First is knowledge representation. So, whatever the knowledge is present, it has to be represented in one or the another manner. So there are different methods to represent the knowledge, either through the text, through the graph, through the videos. All are the different techniques of representing the knowledge. Theorem proving. So there are theorem are there. On the basis of theorem, you prove the things. Game playing, very fast sub area of AI. This is the game playing, and it is very famous, very famous. Nowadays, there are professionals in this field. It is the game playing. Common sense reasoning, dealing with uncertainty and the decision making, learning models, inference techniques, pattern recognition, search and matching, etc. These all are the sub areas of AI. Fuzzy logic, actually the logic is there. So there can be the simple logic or the fuzzy logic, temporal, model. These are all the different types of logics which are applied in AI, and planning and scheduling. These are also the sub areas of the AI. Natural language understanding and natural language generation. Both the things are the sub areas, and these two come under the other sub area is NLP, computer vision, all the vision things which are dealing with the within pictures, graphs, videos, understanding the spoken utterances, what you utter, that is what you see, what you simply murmur, that is the utterances. Intelligent tutoring system is also a sub area. Robotics, machine translation systems, problem solving areas, neural networks, AI tools, etc. These all are the sub areas. Major application areas of AI. Business. In business, AI is being implemented for the financial strategies and giving the advice. Engineering field, in the design purpose, suggestions, creating the new product and the projects. Manufacturing unit, assembly line, inspection and maintenance. So AI is being used in all these terms in a manufacturing unit also. In mining, it is used when conditions are dangerous. We apply the AI tools to do the mining, where the human will be replaced by the AI machines to do the mining. In the hospitalization or the medical field, it is used for the monitoring, diagnosing, and prescribing in a medical field. In education, it is being as a teaching tool. In household, it is used as a advice on cooking, shopping, etc. Very much useful in farming, like pruning trees, means cutting of the trees, and selectively harvest mixed crops. So these are the major areas or the application areas of AI. Some more applications like game playing, and example are Deep Blue chess program which beat the world champion. So that Deep Blue chess program is the program which is developed by the AI, and it beat the world champion. Speech recognition is there. Computer vision like face recognition programs in use by banks, governments, and a biometric attendance also. Face recognition is done. Your biometric thumb impressions are taken. Expert systems, application specific systems that rely on the obtaining the knowledge of human experts. in an area and programming like mycin, dendral. These are the examples of the expert system. These are the examples of the expert system. Then the diagnosis system that I have already told, mycin. So mycin is a type of expert system which is used in diagnosis in a medical field. It is system for diagnosing the bacterial infections of the blood and suggesting the treatments. Financial decision making. So credit card companies, mortgage companies, banks, all these financial status, they make use of the artificial intelligence concept for implementing the different day-to-day operations in their units. Classification system, we have to classify the different items in a different method because somebody goes to the space where the classification is required. So NASA developed the system for classifying very faint areas in astronomical image into either stars or galaxies with high accuracy by using the AI. Mathematical theorem proving use inference method to prove the new theorems. It is used in natural language processing. In natural language processing, it is used in both natural language generation and natural language understanding. So Google's translation of web pages, it is the example of natural language understanding. Then is the scheduling and planning. Automatic scheduling for the manufacturing. So DARPA's DART system used in a desert storm and the desert shield operations to plan the logistics of the people and supplies. American Airlines rerouting contingencies planner. European Space Agency planning and scheduling of spacecraft assembly, integration and verification. So it is used, AI is being used for various types of scheduling and the different types of planning and different areas. Robotics, this is the main area of the AI. Robotics and the path planning. NASA's rover mission is totally based on that is the example of this application. Biology and medicine, modeling of a cellular functions, analysis of DNA and proteins. These all require the interference of the AI concept, AI mechanism. So this is all is done in the AI. Fundamental issues for the most AI problems. What are the fundamental issues? Very important thing is you have got the information from the you collect the information from the different sources. But very important thing is how to represent that information. Representation is very much important. And people faces the problem. It has got the information, but how to represent that information to the outer world? This is very common and important problem which the AI domain faces. So facts about the world have to be represented in some way. So it requires some mathematical logic. It requires a language. It requires the different tools. We have to represent either in a textual, either in a graph, either in a video, either in a images. So it all requires some form of logic, some form of language. If we are saying we have to represent this information in the form of text, then in which language that text should have. So this is very important aspect and issues in the most of the AI problems. Then is the searching. Many tasks can be viewed as searching a very large problem because searching is getting to the goal state. You have the problem, many states are available and you are searching for the desired state. You are searching for the goal state. Like in chess, many moves are there. Each move give rise to a new state and the number of moves they are in many. So there is a combinatorial problem. Many states are there and some problems have many winning situation or the go state, but some problem have only one go state. To search, that is very important. Suppose some case is there, some mishappening, some accident or any robbery. Now you have to search the person. Go state is you have to search the culprit. And who is the culprit? So all the state, the space of finding the culprit It can be any person from the whole world. So see how large space from where you have to search your goal state. So searching is very much important aspect and issue of the most AI problems. Inferencing, how to get something which is from the present thing. It is very important task. From some facts, others can be inferred. New facts can be inferred related to search. For example, knowing all the elephants have trunks. So, how to inference this thing from the given information? That is inference, and it is also one of the fundamental issue of the most AI problems. So this is all about today's lecture. So I will again tell what we have done today. We have gone through the basic definitions of the AI, different categories of the AI system, what are the different components of the AI, then what is the important test to check whether the system we have developed, it is actually the EA system or not. So that is the Turing test. Then we have done the definition of the agent. We have gone through different components of the AI program. We have gone through different sub areas, different technologies which are being used in AI, different categories of the AI, cognitive science as well as rational science. We have gone through that also. Last, we have gone through applications, recent applications of the AI, and finally, we have touched the topic of the fundamental issues of the AI. So this was all in the this lecture about the introduction of the AI. Thank you.